This is a demo for bulk SMS servers. First of all, you need to open the main site. Log in with the credentials provided to you by the company. Here I am using my own credentials as an example. After logging in, you will be able to see the following panel. Since this is a demo for bulk SMS, click on Services. You will be able to see the bulk SMS option. These are the details that you fill in to get the required bulk SMS campaign. First of all, you have to enter the name of your campaign. Here, for example, I am using the name testing. Next, you have to either select a sender ID from the drop-down menu, or you have to get yourself a new sender ID by getting it approved through the company. To get a new sender ID, you have to click on Add Sender ID, click on New. You have to mention the name here and then click on Create. Then you have to inform the company to get it approved. Once it gets approved, you can check the status here. And when the sender ID is approved by the company, you can see it in the drop-down menu here. For the demo, I am using previously added sender IDs. Next, you have to set the message content settings. You have two options here, promotional and transactional. Promotional is used when you have to send it to only non-DND numbers. Transactional is used when you have to send it to both DND and non-DND numbers. For both promotional and transactional, you have to select one of these three options. Text is when you have to give the text in only English language. Unicode when you have to write the text in some other language. Flash is when you have to show a text on the screen and it has to disappear only when someone has either received the message or rejected the message. Like when your internet data pack is about to get finished, a message pops up on your screen and you have to either click on cancel or you have to see it and click on it to make it disappear. The credits are deducted as per these settings. If you are using text, that is English for your text, then 160 characters will be used as one credit. For Unicode, there will be 70 characters, then one credit will be deducted. In Flash, if you use 160 characters, then one credit will be deducted. Now I'll show both the procedures, promotional and transactional. For both I'm using text here. If I'm using promotional, then I have to enter the text directly here. But if I'm using transactional, then I have to select transactional and I have to select a template from the drop-down menu. When you have to get yourself a new template, click on Manage Templates. Click on Add SMS Template and enter your template. You have to inform the company that you have added a new template and then get it approved. Once the template is approved, you have to select it from the drop-down menu. As soon as the template gets approved, it will be shown in the drop-down menu automatically. Here I am using promotional for an example. Next is the sending options. There are three options: contact, groups and callers. If you are using contacts, then you have to manually enter the numbers. You can also copy the contacts from any Excel sheet and then paste it over here instead of manually typing. You have to keep in mind that the number has to be 10-digit number. You do not have to use 0 or plus 91 before the number. You just have to directly enter the number. If you do not want to enter the number manually every time, you can select groups. By adding a group, you can add certain contacts in a group and then use it every time. Once you add a certain group, you can see it here in the list. Right now I have not added any group, so you can't see it. But if I add a group of contacts here, you will be able to see it in the drop down menu. You just have to select it every time and then move on to the next step. If you want to edit that group any day, you can edit it by clicking on edit. If you want to delete a group, you can click on delete option. Next option is callers. This is related to CRM. CRM contains the leads of your company. These options like category, status and assignee help you to filter out the leads that you need to send the SMS to. Right now I am using contacts and manually typing any number. As many numbers you will be entering, the count will be shown on this box. Then you can click on Advanced Settings for further options. In Advanced Settings, you will be able to see three options: Direct URL, Form, and Fixed String. I'll explain to you these all one by one. Redirect URL. You can send a URL with your message on which if a customer will click, that it will be redirected to your website and you will get to know how many users clicked on that particular URL. You can use form if you can send a link in your message content on which if a user will click, then in the web browser it will open a form with the entries like name, email, mobile, and if someone fills that, then that entries will be shown on CRM. Like I can show you by clicking on them. For redirect URL, you have to enter a URL here and it will be shown there. If I use form, then I can click on the options that I want in my form. Next is fixed string. In the fixed string, you can send a URL. If someone will click on that URL, it will open a browser page and a fixed string will be visible. Like if I type here, thank you for clicking, then this message will be shown on the screen once the person clicks on the URL. Here I am using the redirect URL for this. If you do not select a schedule for your SMS campaign, then the messages will be directly sent on that time only as soon as you click on submit. But if I want to schedule my SMS campaign for a day, I can select this and then select a date or time, both, for the campaign to start. Here I am just scheduling it for right now. As soon as you click on submit, the message that your campaign is submitted will appear. You can see your reports through the left hand side option of reports and bulk SMS. You can see that previously also I had uploaded two of them. The ones that were delivered, I used the correct numbers here, but since in the previous campaign that I showed right now, I had used some random numbers which might be invalid or might have no connection, it is showing 0 since they were not delivered. But previously I had used some correct numbers, so it is showing that they were delivered and it is showing how many credits were deducted.